Everybody, thank you for inviting me in this virtual conference on New Perspective in South Asian Feminism. My name is Adeeba Akram and I'm lecturer in history and PhD scholar from Government College University Lahore. Today I will contribute few lines on cyber feminism. So let's start from defining feminism. As we all know that feminism is the idea that it propagates that women should have equal rights and opportunities as men. It is based on the belief that women's and men's roles and statuses in society are shaped by social constructs rather than biological determinants. This framework emphasizes taking women's interest and perspective seriously, based on the belief that women are not inferior to men. So let's see what new dimensions are emerging from contemporary women's activism. So contemporary feminist activism or women activism differs from the feminism of the previous century in several key ways, such as inclusivity and diversity, digital activism and gender perspectives. It expands our understanding on gender, it's expanded our gender understanding and the critique of neoliberalism. To contextualize contemporary feminism, we have to discuss or study the historical perspective of feminist activism or women activism in previous centuries. As we all know that historically women in subcontinent were constrained by prevailing customs and practices. They were frequently denied educational opportunities, sharing property, because they were restricted to the domestic sphere, often within the confines of their home. Furthermore, social norms dictated that they would primarily serve men. However, colonial advent of British rule in subcontinent and infusion of Western education significantly influenced India's cultural and intellectual landscapes. This colonial interaction catalyzed a new social awareness within India, which gained public expression via reform movement in the early 19th century. Consequently, the English-educated urban elite began a reflective examination of Indian society, its cultural customs and status of women within this social framework. Key focus areas in early feminist advocacy highlighted the concerns of education, elimination of parda, the remarriage of widow, polygamy and family relationships. In this regard, women journalism provided a dynamic platform for women to express their concerns and negotiate India's patriarchal system. Significant journals that played a vital role in raising awareness among women included Ismat, Khatoon and Tehzeeb-e-Niswa. Let's talk about the evolution and challenges of feminist activism or women activism in post-partition India, primarily or particularly in Pakistan. Following India's partition, women throughout the subcontinent actively advocated for their rights in a variety of socio-political areas. Following independence, women in Pakistan have overcome numerous challenges to establish themselves as dynamic and responsible citizens of the state. Early feminist activism in post-partition Pakistan prioritized legal equality and access to opportunities, including the right to vote, work, and education. However, patriarchal system in Pakistan still limit women's autonomy and women's potential to participate in nation-building activities. Having contextualized the background of feminist activism in subcontinent as well as in Pakistan, let's see what is the emerging perspective of contemporary feminist debate in Pakistan. For this purpose, I will primarily focus on cyber feminism, and I will try to relate the politics of gender or the domestic politics with cyber feminism. So traditionally, feminist movement in Pakistan have concentrated on public sphere, challenging issues like workplace discrimination, legal inequalities, and public policies. However, there is a growing recognition that the home, often perceived as a private and personal domain, is a critical arena where patriarchal norms and structures are deeply entrenched and reproduced. Women activists who use social media for raising feminist awareness constantly questions the politics of gender in domestic sphere, which is primarily patriarchal. They highlighted various issues such as reproduction of gender roles, intimate violence, partner violence and control, the economic implications, child care and parenting, decision making and autonomy, sexual autonomy, mental health and emotional labor. One more concern that feminist activists highlight on social media is women's right to access public spaces with any fear of physical and mental harm. Women's demand to is an important aspect of contemporary feminist activism, emphasizing the need for safe, accessible and inclusive public spaces for women. This movement extends beyond women's physical presence in public spaces and highlights the issues like safety and security, visibility and representation, breaking gender stereotypes, freedom of expression and association, and access to public services. So let's see how digital revolution transforming feminist activism in Pakistan. As we all know that in Pakistan, internet technology has become widely used, opening up new channels of feminist activism. Before the internet technology, television, radio, newspapers and magazines were the conventional channels through which ideas were disseminated, and women's voices were formally afforded a substantial platform on the pages of multiple newspapers such as Jung, Dawn, The Star or The Imrose. These were the newspapers who were presenting women's voices and creating awareness among women on multiple issues such as education, legal rights, and inheritance rights, and etc. The mainstreaming of social media platforms has provided an enormous opportunities for women to express themselves in digital sphere. The movements like Me Too is a prime example of this, and it represents a substantial shift from the types of activism that earlier generations engaged in. So let's see what type of discourse these social media platforms are creating or representing. Social media feminist pages have a dynamic discourse that frequently reflect the range of issues and viewpoints present in the feminist movement. These forums play a vital role in fostering community development, activism, and discourse. They highlight the issues such as awareness and education, advocacy and campaigns, building community support and solidarity, debates and discussions, highlighting intersectionality, celebrating achievements of women from different strata of society, and challenging stereotypes and outdated cultural norms. Examining the realm of cyber activism, especially movements like Me Too and various social media platforms such as Feminism in Pakistan, and if you talk about the Indian side, a specific social media page titled or named as She the People or Girl Talk India. By looking at the posts that they frequently post, it is clear that younger Pakistani feminists and South Asian feminists are actively attempting to reduce the constraints that limit their freedoms. The efforts are not only aimed at breaking the grip of restrictive norms, but also at encouraging an alternative discourse. The conversation heavily touches on issues such as female sexuality, non-heteronormative gender identities, and deeply ingrained patriarchal norms. These initiatives represents a progressive movement towards broader, inclusive conceptions of gender and sexuality. With this discussion in mind, let's talk about the necessity of feminist activism for women in contemporary Pakistan. So, in contemporary Pakistan, women, like their global counterparts, face a variety of challenges in a society dominated by men. As they strive to establish their rightful place within patriarchal social structures, these challenges stifle their growth as individuals and equals. So, there is a need for feminist activism in Pakistan, and women, if using cyber feminism or the space that or the opportunity that has been provided by internet technology, we can say that the new cyber feminist activism is highly important for women's activism or contemporary women movement in Pakistan. So to conclude the topic or the discussion, we can say that cyber feminism as an evolving discourse on social media encompasses a wide range of feminist concerns and perspectives, using digital platforms for education, advocacy, and community building. It represents a significant shift in feminist activism, providing a global platform for raising awareness, fostering solidarity, and challenging patriarchal norms. Importantly, cyberfeminism highlights the intersectionality of gender issues while offering a forum for lively discussions and acknowledgement of accomplishments. It has successfully changed the nature of traditional activism, making it possible to advocate for women's rights and gender equality in the digital age in a way that is more dynamic, inclusive, and linked. So this is all for today from my side. Thank you once again for inviting me to participate in this virtual conference. Take care. Goodbye.